Hello everyone, welcome to day 2 of my For the Books Class to Go. This week I'm featuring the For the Books bundle for the Class to Go that you can earn from March 16th to April 16th to April 30th. I'm sorry guys, I'm still in March. But I love this For the Books bundle. It's such a sweet little bundle in our mini catalog. Now this is on the last chance list. At the time of filming these products were both still available. If the products sell out before the Class to Go earning period or before the end of the month, I will still use this for my Class to Go. You can substitute other stamp sets that you might have. All the die cut pieces, even from the bundle, will be included in your kit. Now today we're not using any of the dies. We used the dies yesterday on this stunner of a card. This is day 1. So we used those yesterday. This is the card we are making today. So pretty. Another rainbow card. These books just screamed rainbow to me, so that's what we're doing today. Now I have already done some of the stamping and some of the coloring on this, just because this does take a little bit of time, and so I've already done some of that. So let me go over what I've done to begin with. So to start with, I marked my white piece of paper, which will come cut in your kit. I'm just going to double check my marks on here. I marked 1.5 inches down, and I don't know if the camera will pick it up, but I drew a very light pencil line. So I marked 1.5 inches down on the left and 1.5 inches down on the right, and then I just connected the dots with a line, and then I did another 1.5 inches from that line down on each side, and again connected the lines, and I did that one more time, 1.5 inches down, 1.5 inches on from each line, and connected those dots. So I have 3 pencil lines on there. Now we're going to cover those up with cardstock, but that gave me a nice little base to stamp my books. The books you do not want to stamp directly on the pencil line. You can see they're about, I don't know, like 1/8 of an inch, maybe 1/4 of an inch off of the line there, and that's just to accommodate for the cardstock that we're going to put on there. And so we're going to finish stamping our last shelf of books down here, and so I have a couple of the stamps in the kit, or in the stamp set, and then I also have the little glasses, which I think are just so cute. So we're gonna do Memento ink because we're gonna color with Stampin' Blends. So let me we're gonna start with this little stack over here, this little stack of 2 books, and so I hope I can do this with the camera in the way. So I'm just going to stamp those, again, not right on the line, a little bit off the line. We'll stamp our glasses right on top of those books. So cute. All right, now let's go to the books that are standing over here. I'm going to take that, actually we're going to start on the right. So I'm going to take my little books, and again, not right on the line, just a little bit off. We're going to do 1. Then we're going to do 2, and these 2 little single stamps we're going to do right next to it, just like that. Okay, now you would do the same kind of thing for the top shelf and the middle shelf. You can alternate the book stacked or the book standing up, however you want to do that. All right, as long as we're doing our stamping, let's go ahead and stamp our greeting. So I have a little piece of white, which will be included in your kit. And this is for our greeting. I'm going to use Melon Mambo for this. And I'm going to stamp it off to the right. This one is The Story of Us. Such a cute greeting. You can give this to a spouse or a best friend, somebody you have a lot of history with. So just stamped off to the right, and we'll come back to this in just a minute. Okay. Let's do our coloring, and I'm going to zoom in a little bit for the coloring. Now I've used a ton of different color of blends. Now again, if you didn't want to do the rainbow colors, you can do ombre colors. You can choose one color to feature, and that would be fine. I didn't do any blending on any of the books. I colored 1 light and 1 dark, and that gave me a nice variety. So I'm actually going to start on the right and work my way to the left, and I'm going to start with Melon Mambo. I'm using all the colors today that I used on my book, with the exception of Poppy Parade. I did use Poppy Parade for my reds, and there just isn't enough books to use for the reds. So we're just going to start with our Melon Mambo. This is the dark one. And so all I'm going to do is color just this book here, just with the dark. And we'll just put away our markers as we go. All right, so Light Melon Mambo is next. And we'll just color the next book, Light Melon Mambo. So we're just going dark, light of every color. The books are not very big, so if you wanted to do some blending, you could. Now you could also use like your Stampin' Write markers. These are our water-based markers. Because we're not doing any blending and because these are small spaces, the Stampin' Write markers would also work really well. All right, Bubble Bath. We're gonna do Bubble Bath Light next. And again, you could color these books in any color that you wanted. You could do like a sepia tone, maybe do some browns. That would be really pretty. If you know somebody's favorite color, maybe their favorite color is green, you could do all shades of green. Okay, dark bubble bath for the next one. Lovely. All right. And then we have Berry Burst, which is next. Did I do Berry Burst? Or did I do? I did Petunia Pop. That's the difference. Let's grab my Petunia Pop ones. There we go. So dark Petunia Pop. Now again, Berry Burst would have worked. It's a little bit darker than Petunia Pop, but it absolutely would have worked. Any colors would work, really. Okay. And light Petunia Pop next to it. Coloring these doesn't take too long. It's, I think, the stamping and the measuring, I think that's what takes the longest. But it's totally worth it because the card is completely adorable. All right, Azure Afternoon. We're gonna go Azure Afternoon Dark. And then we'll do Azure Afternoon Light. These little skinny books sometimes are harder than the bigger books. All right. Sorry, I can't talk and color at the same time, apparently. If you are watching this on YouTube and you have not yet subscribed to my channel, go ahead and do that. That'll make sure that you never miss a video or a class to go. I'm going to go back over with my Azure Afternoon Dark just because the dark and the light are pretty close and I want that definition, so I'm going to go back over with the dark. Okay. And we have Lemon Lime Twist. And I grabbed my dark one, so we're going to actually skip a book because I want this one to be the dark one. And I'm going to leave that one out because we're going to come back and do that a second layer too. And then we're going to do the light one, and then I'll go back and do that second layer of dark. But make sure you hit that subscribe button so you never miss a video. Subscribing is free, and it really helps my channel grow. It helps me reach new people. And then you never miss a video either. All right, Daffodil Delight. Oh, you know, I grabbed Lemon Lolly. Oh, sorry. Let's go back to Daffodil Delight. Daffodil Delight Dark for the top book. And then Daffodil Delight Light for the bottom book. Okay. And then our rainbow books are all done. Now, I don't know if I would, would you organize books in this manner? I don't know. I think I would organize them a little bit differently than by rainbow, but man, it sure is pretty. Okay, let's grab our little shelves. Now you just have 3 pieces. These are 1/4 inch by 4 each. And I'm going to use my liquid glue. And I'm just going to follow that pencil line with my liquid glue and just put a very thin line of glue down. And then we'll just stick our shelf down, just to kind of make sure that it doesn't cover up any of the books. And you want to keep it as close to that shelf line as possible. Oops. Make sure that it sticks to the glue. Now the black paper is going to be longer than your white paper. We're going to trim those edges in just a minute, but I wanted it to be a little bit longer to, just because it's easier to get it adhered down if it's slightly longer. Sometimes the paper trimmer is a little bit shorter. Sometimes, we don't cut perfectly, and that's okay. So it's easier to go longer than to go shorter. And that gives you some wiggle room. All right. Once these are completely dry on here, we'll go ahead and trim these off. You really want to wait till they're dry before you start trimming. So we will work on our greeting piece, which is over here, because we're going to end up trimming. Well, that one I stamped close enough to the edge. I don't think we're going to trim off, but if you needed to trim off, you could. All right, I'm going to cut this into a banner. So I'm just going to eyeball it. If you have a square punch or a banner punch, you could use that. So I'm just going to cut that into a short little banner, and I'm going to put some adhesive on the back of this. And we're going to grab some of our linen thread. Now, if your order is over $150, you're going to receive a full spool of this linen thread in your kit. I'm going to grab a piece of it. I'm just kind of eyeballing it. But what we're going to do, we're not going to tie a bow with this because the knot would be too bulky under our little label here. So I'm just going to fold it in half. And then we're just going to kind of make a figure 8 with it. So I'm just going to go this way and this way, and you can kind of hold it in the middle and adjust the size of it. Our little label isn't super big, so we don't need it to be huge. And then this little edge over here, I'm just going to cut that so it looks like it's the two pieces. And once you have it all done, you have this little nest down. You can just stick that right into all that adhesive that we put on there. So when you turn it over, you have that little nest behind it. Isn't that pretty? All right, I'm going to put some dimensionals on this just to further hold this in place. We're just going to kind of nestle those in there, peel those off, and I'm going to wait to adhere that down until we get our little shelves cut. So I'm going to just go through. You can also use a paper trimmer for this. Just going to go through and trim off all my little shelf pieces. All right, pretty, right? So adorable. I love the rainbow colors. All right, we're going to stick this to a piece of Melon Mambo, and then we'll stick our little tag on it, our little greeting. I left room on this middle shelf. I didn't stamp books all the way behind it, just specifically for the greeting. All right, this one we're going to throw on some dimensionals to attach this to the card. So do 4 dimensionals on this. We'll attach this right down onto our card base, which is a bubble bath card base. And this card is complete. So beautiful, right? Oh, I just love it. I love those rainbow books. Perfect for any book lover in your life. All right, guys, thank you for joining me for day 2 of the books for the books bundle. I'll be back tomorrow with day 3. Bye.